All right, now I'm going to show you a video on how to do something Mr. GM and I like to refer to as logic puzzles. Some people call them deduction puzzles. But really what they are, they're puzzles that we do to work on critical thinking skills, problem solving skills. There's an order in which you need to complete them, so kind of relating it to order of operations. But it really is a good activity for kids to do. It doesn't involve numbers usually, but it really is a way to critically think through a problem. And I'm going to go through kind of one of these puzzles, and some of you maybe have done them before, but the rest of you will kind of learn how to do it here with me, hopefully. So I'm going to go through kind of my thought process here when I do a logic puzzle. So it starts up on top here with 5 families spent their weekends on different outings. And it says, read the clues below. So I'm going to get rid of the next portion here. When I do these, I like to just have X's represent things that they're not, and circles represent things that they are. Okay, and you can use really whatever symbols you want when you do these, but you have to have something to represent no's and something to represent yeses. And when you're done, this entire grid should be filled in when you're done. All right, so clue number 1 said the Blancs bought new sleeping bags for their trip. So it doesn't come right out and tell you what the Blanc family did, but I think most of you probably can figure out that, okay, if they bought new sleeping bags, they probably are going camping, right? So I know that the Blanc family is going to be a yes, that they went camping. Now, the most important part of these is when you figure out what a yes is, you have to know that the Blanc family can't do anything else. So you have to put X's in there, and that no other family can go camping. So what I'm gradually doing here is I'm gradually knocking out squares to figure out what's left over. All right. So next one, clue number 2 said, Sherry White was scared of animals. So her family did not go to the zoo. So this is the White family, and they did not go to the zoo. So under Miss White, I'm going to cross out that they did not go to the zoo. Now notice I do not know what they did yet, but I know what they didn't do, and they didn't go to the zoo. Okay, now I got to move to clue number 3. Clue number 3 says, Johnny Weiss and Ruby Miles both had a great time because they enjoy doing things in the water. So Weiss and Miles, these two right here, Weiss and Miles, they enjoy doing things that are in the water. Now, I don't know exactly what they did yet, but I do know that they didn't do anything at the zoo, and they didn't do the picnic because their activity had to be in the water. So it has to be either the water skiing or the river rafting, but we don't know what they did yet. Okay. Now I don't have to read clue number 4 though, because some of you maybe have noticed now that this family right here, the Alba family, has to do the zoo because it was the only box remaining for that family. Now remember, when you put a yes in, you also have to put no's down and up and across, which the across ones are already done for us. All right, now I do have to go on and read my last clue. Clue number 4 says that Rose Miles enjoyed telling Henry Blanc about her adventures on the raft. So that means that Rose, because she told Mr. Blanc about her adventures on the raft, Miles must be the river rafting, because that's the only one that did something on a raft. Now remember, if you put a yes in, you have to put in the no's, up and down and across. And then that means that the Weiss family, they're the only box left, had to be water skiing, which means nobody else can be water skiing. And lastly, then the picnic is the White family. And that is the only way that that puzzle can work out. And notice how you have yeses in one row, or one column, I should say, for each person. All right. So again, I use deductive reasoning. I figure out, most of the time, I figure out the X's before I put in the O's, the yeses. So it's really a process of elimination activity. I enjoy doing these. Mr. GM, I know, enjoys doing these too. But it's, again, problem solving without using numbers, but really thinking through a problem. And again, when you're done, the entire thing should be filled in with yeses and nos. All right? So hopefully you enjoyed that video. Again, some of you have done those before, I'm sure, but hopefully that helped. But make sure you reach out if it didn't.